but it ends up being a very dominant victory for TNC.
Yep.
Heading into game number 2, up 1-0. We're going to be on Towers of Doom with UL with the first pick.
Yeah. And first pick UL, I imagine we're going to see them try and beat TNC at their own game, which is early game pressure. TNC just got really aggressive really early. They pushed hard, then they never let up. From that early camp steal on the Murda and all the way up until the end, it was just pressure, pressure, pressure. They never let up momentum, and they never gave UL a chance to really get back in the game, while at the same time being patient enough not to take, every single fight that they possibly could.
Do you think we see a bit change of philosophy here for UL? Are they going to move away from a hypercarry comp, especially here on Towers of Doom? I don't think it works quite as well. Maybe some more mage play from them. What are your thoughts on how they need to adjust here in game number 2?
Well, like I said, I think it's going to be early game pressure, or you know what, it is Towers of Doom, and I think maybe early game matters a little bit less, but it is TNC's map pick. So I think UL is going to want to take momentum away from TNC early, and I don't know that the Vala Tassadar hypercarry might do it, but they might be able to do it with a different hypercarry. Cassia I've seen on hypercarry. We can go back to the Tassadar Hanzo. You can see a lot of different things coming up, but I am very excited to see what their first pick is, because picking first, we're going to get an early glimpse of what UL's plan is going to be. And here we go into the draft.
I'm not surprised if they want to go into Alex Straza again. Either of these teams, I think she's going to be very highly prioritized. Wouldn't even be surprised if we start seeing some bans on her in this tournament. Especially moving later on, as these teams are learning how scary she is with that new Lifebinder.
Lifebinder is just absolutely broken right now. I mean, if you had the list of things that are broken this patch, I think are 2, Jimmy and Lifebinder. is basically it. Like,
I mean, it didn't take too long for teams to figure out how good Lifebinder is now. Compare it to Ancestral, compare it to Palm from Karazim. It's just so much more versatile. And when you give that little tick of healing, I think it's 300 over 3 seconds, something like that. Or is it 300? Whatever it is, it does just enough to make sure you're always getting a full heal.
Oh, and I forgot Urel is also broken as well.
Okay,
but
go facts.
When I read the patch notes, I underestimated just how much 300 per second is. That's a lot of healing, and I had been thinking it was just a little bit less. And team name change does not want them to get Alex Straza back.
So I think these are definitely at least 3 of the bans you saw in game number 1: the Genji, the Urel, and the Rainer. Abathur
immediate Abathur pick. So giving up their idea right away, we know exactly what UL is going to be going for here. They're going to counter with the Dahaka for them, get themselves a global presence.
I really like the Dahaka pick to counter the Abathur. I think it's going to give them the surprise attack they're looking for. And the response time from Abathur, if he does want to make an impact on a brush stock from Dahaka, needs to be really quick, because if he gets in there, pulls a target out, and they get the lockdown they need, especially now that we see Malfurion coming out who can drop roots underneath it. I mean, there's really not much an Abathur can do to come in and save that fight at that point.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I do like the Malfurion pick coming out here. I don't know that maybe they don't have a comp that's going to work with the Deckard Cain right now.
So they do have Deckard Cain available, but they can ban it out here, which is going to put UL pretty deep into the support pool, at least what has been the top 3 supports as of late.
Yeah, you can go for something like a Rhaegar, though. You can... I'm not sure what else. We could always see solo support Abathur, too. I'm not sure that's dead yet.
And, of course, they're more flexible having that Abathur, so it looks like they're not going to worry about it, instead banning away the Tracer.
Going to want to get, you went for the APM Vala last time. You could see an APM Tracer here with an Abathur hat. That's a scary proposition.
Yeah, especially Blaze, pretty good with an Abby hat. Muradin, even better with an Abby hat. They're pretty spooky, and that's a dominant front line. They need to find ways to get past it. What are your thoughts for them? How can they get past this front line of Blaze and Murden?
I mean, basically, you probably want a team that's capable of dive. With a Dahaka, though, what you're going to have to do is you have to isolate target. Dahaka's going to want to follow up on some CC. You get a little bit more CC right here with these picks, and there's your Garrosh.
I think these are
Garrosh
perfect.
throw it into tongue into root is going to give Greymane a nice, big, juicy target, whoever it is, whether it's Murden. You don't want to get a Blaze, I think, because then he'll just bunker. But, you know, you get a Murden down, you stop his jump with the root, and, you know, that's a dead dwarf.
Yeah, if they can pick some off with some Garrosh tosses, I think it's pretty deadly. Of course, you're going to have that cursed bullet later on with Greymane, Li Ming, and Valeera. Oh,
Yes.
okay, talk about an Abby hat target. Valeera dropping in the Nexus.
I'm very excited. This is indeed a solo support Abathur, and it's including a Valeera. So two great ideas that go greater together, very possibly, coming out. Valeera has been sort of hinted at in the community. I've heard it from a lot of different places that Valeera is very good, and the only reason you don't see her in HGC is because HGC pros don't have the time necessarily to practice her. But APM might have been working on it. So we are going to see the Jaina being picked up here for that blow up. So Greymane Jaina going to blow up whatever the CC target is here. And Valeera is going to try and murder Jaina. Is basically the only way I can put it.
So it looks like, is APM switching over to play tank? He's on Murden right now, showing on my screen.
Oh, yeah, he is.
So, okay, little interesting role swap-arini here.
Mm-hmm.
What are you like?
I think I remember APM being quite good at Murden. It's been so long. I can't keep track of all these pros.
But so, Ghost, what are your thoughts here? Game number 1, we see a double support. We have the Tassadar and the Deckard Cain. This time, 0 supports with just the Abathur.
Yep.
You know, do you like this sort of, hey, let's switch it up, throw some curveballs, or what are your thoughts here?
It's obviously a comp that UL has practiced before. Solo support Abathur's a real thing. It's real news. I don't remember the last time I saw it in HGC. I mean, it was pretty recently, but it's, you know, it's real. And with a Valeera, with a Li Ming, and with the front line like Blaze and Murden, you've got Bunker, you've got Murden who can just take all sorts of damage and just heal it up naturally. Abathur is going to give support to everybody else. You know, support's there for sustain, not necessarily keeping people. It's there for sustain and keeping people alive in fights. But we are going to go right into the game here.
And on the left-hand side, your Game 1 winners, team name change. Metball, the captain, going to be on Jaina Nim Avenger, playing the Garrosh, Smitty, Werbin, the support once again, this time on Malfurion. Netball going to be on Greymane, and rounding it out once again, playing the solo lane, this time on Dahaka. It's Beady Buttkiss.
And over on the side of UL, we've got Valeera played by Earth. Harry Blob playing the Abathur this time. Dids on the Li Ming. Electromad on the Blaze. And APM in the tank slot on Murden.
So, early game, we do see the regen build coming out from Abathur as projected and definitely needed. Overall, nothing crazy here at level 1. Of course, we do have the crippling poison from Valeera, which I think is definitely going to help her get that burst that they desperately need on targets like Jaina, targets like Malfurion. Here's the first fight of the game. It's Earth under trouble, but has to get thrown away there by Garrosh because they found another target, and it's Murden falling down. First blood of the game, picking up right where they left off. It's TNC.
I did not mean to laugh there, but the way Garrosh threw away the Valeera was like, we don't need this thing. Threw Valeera away, and everybody just turned on the Murden, who had no jump left.
Hello, little Missy. We don't want you playing in this fight here. We'll take your Murden.
Who invited you? So we are going to see the Abba hat on the Valeera. You know, anybody can solo lane with an Abathur hat, but they're going to be starting on this camp on TNC. Blaze Tryon coming in here. Garrosh says, no, we don't need you here either. Nem Avenger just playing bouncer here, but a quick silence and a big blow up onto Garrosh, but the Garrosh armor keeping him alive for now. Almost stays alive through it, but a 1-for-1 and a return kill onto the Li Ming coming out from TNC. Blaze is trapped in this bush here. APM, not Blaze, Murden could be going down here. APM getting down, and there's the death. The Jaina burst is too much.
And all the while that camp was taking away some damage, finally TNC is able to gather those sappers. They have the level 4 advantage coming up here, and I think, look at this top lane. I mean, Greymane, he's wide open if he wants to take that camp to be able to get this soak, push Abathur back a bit out of that body soaking range of where he was. But, I mean, again, 4-1 already, so early in the game. That aggressive attempt there by UL just didn't pay off for them. And does it put them behind for the rest of the game, or are they going to start being able to make up some of that lost experience we're seeing here early?
Yeah, big throw onto the Murda here on the APM. This skin from Murda is really throwing me off here because he looks like a space marine, you know? But Jordan's going to jump out here and be just fine.
I do believe it's a banned skin, but, you know, whatever. He's playing it. I don't think any team said anything.
I just talk. I'm not sure what the rules are.
I'm not a referee, but I'm just saying.
We're going to see them go in on here, and TNC just being very aggressive, but a huge amount of damage going to the Garrosh. The Jaina Blizzard comes in unstoppable. Proteer for the Garrosh. Electromed getting very low. Jaina getting super low, down to 69 health, and Jaina is going to be taken out. APM is going to get in trouble here, getting ticked down. Murda goes down. There's the Greymane damage, and UL is running for their lives.
Beatty barely missing the tongue there on Valera. Earth sitting in just a sneaky little spot trying to not get found out here. But now in trouble could be Malfurion, and definitely is Greymane as he falls. Smitty gonna be next because Valera on top with the Abathur hat, picking up 2 huge kills, and that means they're gonna be able to get this bottom shrine that spawned here. Big pickup there, but Garrosh up on the top side able to sneak away a shrine for his team.
Yeah, TNC letting their guard down a little bit, but Valera with the plays finds Greymane just all by himself. Malfurion not able to save him or himself, and just sort of backs out. They get the shrine, they get the 2 kills, and they are ahead in 4 shots.
Yeah, and in XP, it looks like UL has caught up. The Abby Soak was enough during that phase to get them right back in it as we see them pick up their level 7 talents. We're probably able to get Murda out of here, no problem. But your thoughts, picking up the 2 on the top side. Wow, Malfurion getting found out by Valera. That's what they need to do with this Valera comp, is get him aggressive like that.
Yeah, Earth is playing out of his mind. They're trying to find the return kill onto the Murda here, but Murda too tanky. Abathur hat too strong, but they do get the throw onto Blaze. I think I'm going to take him out. Is Blaze going to be able to get a return kill? No. The Blaze damage not enough. And that is 1 dead Space Marine. Boy, TNC really trying to put up with, as predicted, UL trying to get a lot more aggressive here in this early game. APM immediately going into this camp. Here's the Garrosh combo, able to dwarf toss out before any further CC. So APM not going down. The Liming poke trying to take the damage out of here before the camp is picked up, but that's another camp going over to TNC.
Yo, Ghost, I want to talk about that play we just saw at mid. Nem Avenger, the into the fray, saving his Dahaka, and then the wrecking ball on Blaze right after it to find a kill. What a combination of kills. The Root gonna lock in on that dwarf toss. APM gonna fall, and look at this altar spawning right in the perfect spot for TNC. They have sappers here. They're able to pick up the shots as well. This is a huge power play for them right now, even getting out this tower. It's really starting to open up for them, but they have to worry. Abathur keeping the soak alive for UL. They're gonna be in this game in terms of XP.
Yeah, and you know, Murda not the only one able to toss a dwarf. Garrosh hurling a dwarf, as Murda would have you say. Mule comes out and is going to try and get that tower back. They're probably going to get it up to full health, but they are going to take this camp up. They are going to get those shots. And they
scouted Valera this time.
There's a big throw onto the Valera. Valera goes down.
Yeah, that was a great scout there by Nem Avenger. Smitty was staying back as well, and it was just a great job by the team to recognize Valera's trying to move in here. They don't want you guys to get this camp, especially before level 10. They want to be able to keep even here on XP, but once again, another camp being taken away by TNC as they continue in both of these games dominating the enemy camps. It's been a huge talking point here.
Oh, absolutely. The camps are huge. However, Mule did manage to save 2 sappers there from the damage. But with the Valera, it sort of hangs on a knife's edge. It's a fine line between losing and winning these fights. When Valera comes in and finds a kill, she looks like an absolute genius. When Valera gets caught out and killed, she looks like a target. So it's really close game, high risk, high reward game that UL is playing. Taunt coming in onto the Murda, and Murda goes down. Blaze is able to bunker and walk away. They kill the bunker. Electromad walks away with his life, but that's another kill going on to the Mountain King himself. UL Earth completely invisible.
Look at that snicker.
I love it. I love it.
Yo, so 8 p.m., we mentioned switching over to tank for this game. 5 deaths already here, only 7 minutes into the game. Wow, Valera finding the burst on top of the Malfurion. He's going to fall. Medball could be next, but here comes Greymane finding Valera along with the Garrosh, and that's going to be a counter kill onto her. Medball, 36 health. Ooh. Oh my god.
Oh, Leaving finds the kill. Meanwhile, Dahaka found himself another Zerg. 19 health. There's one more auto attack, and the slug goes down. Garrosh moving up. It is a 2-for-1. Abathur down for 20 more seconds, but Dahaka taking a ton of burst damage, able to pop his essence here. Blaze trying to get a stun, misses the throw onto the Blaze. APM in the back. The Greymane just trying to kill the Blaze and the Murda, trying to get as much damage as he can on there. There's a Liming Orb, not in time. Murda goes down. Blaze gets into the bunker, is able to walk away. Beady Bucket's taking a lot of poke here from Liming, able to regenerate here. Blaze looks for the stun, but the Greymane jump stops it early.
Yeah, I love as they finally get the kill there on Garrosh. And this could be more, because that is a clone on the Liming, but the other Liming back to gathering that shrine. I do want to say, that fight, BD Butkus doing a great job of isolating out that Liming, making sure the damage could not join both the tanks that were there taking on the brunt of that fight, and they were able to find the kill on top of the Murden. Once again, 6 deaths now. Yep. But it was really all set up there by Dahaka, being able to hold that bush and not let Liming pass it. Using
all of his health bars excellently there, up in there, just be able to regenerate his essence. I do believe, yes, he does have Hero Stalker, so you gain essence every time an enemy hero is hit by Dark Storm, so he's able to regenerate his essence and just get a lot of health back during team fights. We're going to see a little bit of a, excuse me, Pumpkin Sapper squabble here.
Squabbling away, man.
I know. I don't know what word I was looking for. Perhaps scrap? I'm not sure. But there was some kind of word. They're going to try and prevent these sappers from getting in and doing any more damage on the wall than absolutely necessary. They are in control, but both teams about to hit 13 at the same time. UL gets there first, and looks like they are going to rotate mid. Dahaka might be in trouble here. Here's a CC chain onto Dahaka. The leaning damage. Excellent burrow there by Dahaka, trying to keep Dahaka back. Dahaka tries to anticipate the exit there on the bunker, but misses, and they're going to back off. Dahaka, though, had to burn a lot of essence.
Yeah, they did burn out the bunker there, though, so that is something to note. Will not be available for at least the first portion of this altar that's spawning in about 5 more seconds here. They do have that ultimate evolution, so look for UL to find a fight, clone the Liming, as right now it's Dahaka who's low. Could the clones start coming in now? And here it is, Liming being cloned out. They're finding damage on top of Malfurion, who's in a weird spot, but Valera on the backside gonna get caught out there by Greymane, now diving in for more, gonna find the Liming as well. Murden could be next. Dwarf Toss is what he's got as an answer. He's gonna be able to get behind the wall as Blaze is there to help push back with that jet propulsion, but picking up yet another altar. TNC taking a 12-shot lead here, 11 minutes into game number 2.
TNC is on fire. Smitty Warbin, as soon as Valera showed herself, didn't silence the Malfurion. Smitty was there with the R button, ready to pop Twilight Dream, immediately silenced the Valera, and she died almost instantly.
So we have a situation in this game where TNC has this lead. Abathur, of course, being able to keep some of these altars alive with his mules. Look at that mule right now on your screen.
Yep.
Keeping stuff alive. And that's the story, because TNC, if they really want to start opening up this score right now, they're up by 12, but if they really want to make it start to separate, they need to find a way to burst them down and not let that mule get the value that it's been getting the entire game.
Yeah, definitely a lot of late game advantage here. Here's a signs onto Greymane. The Liming blow up is there. Greymane in the wrong part of town.
Yeah, Earth, great job with the stun. The follow-up by APM. Textbook synchronization there by UL. Finding the quick pick there on Greymane. They're going to be able to take their pumpkins. They're going to be able to clear up the ones that were pushing down against them.
Yep.
A little swing here. And, of course, when you have the stroke continuing from Abathur, Blaze also trying to do his job to get that level 16 talent quickly here for UL. I don't think either team's going to have it for these altars. But I think, and it appears as though UL will be hitting that level 16 first. They need to be able to find some kills in this bush right here. This
UL, they realize,
they
see TNC is ready, may rotate up there, and I think Murda and Valir are just waiting for it to happen. They're going to clear these pumpkins. I'm not sure if they're going to initiate down. Yeah, Murda's going to come in on the flank, looking for a Jaina, gets the jump, stun, misses. Excellent dodge by Medball.
Here is the clone too. You got to note Abathur popping it early here, so they're dedicated to this fight at this point. Garrosh's going to try to find the stun with the Groundbreaker, going to interrupt that Valera, and now they just have to wait out this clone. Harry Blob with only a few more seconds on that Liming clone, and then look at the Haka. Going to be able to brush stalk in here. They're going to be able to take a fight, and here it comes. The Water Elemental drop going to be able to interrupt that capture, but the damage on top of 2, picking up the double kill, is UL finding it. That's Garrosh and Malfurion, no support, no tank. The Haka could be next, as well as Deathball. There's another reset for Liming, and look at that, a 3-for-1. They lose their Valera, but I think it's well worth it, as they're going to be able to get this altar, which they desperately needed to keep themselves in this game, ghostDunk.
Yeah. BD Buckets came in for the Haka flank, and it was too late. The flank took too long to walk there, even with the Haka's increased movement speed. And you saw Li Ming was in trouble of getting a tongue from Dahaka there in the bottom, but she stepped up, and they immediately initiated the fight once they realized that he was behind them. And they take a momentary advantage of 2 to 3 seconds, and they punish TNC there in the bottom.
Yeah, and now, for the first time in the game, starting to get really aggressive on these camps and getting first shot at it. But now they're scared off here, because there it is, Water Elemental dropping on top of Murda, and they have to use the bunker. They lose what they're trying to get done there on that camp, and really the only thing they get out of it is a cooldown from the Jaina. I believe they also burnt out the Warlord's Challenge there from Garrosh. So baited out some ults. They used their bunker, but overall, I mean, they need to find these kills. 15. Oh, whoa! Silence is Valera, but she's in her shadow though. They can't see her. They're not going to finish the kill.
Oh, excellent use of the excuse me, smoke bomb. They're not the smoke bomb, sorry. She was able to stealth immediately. But here's the chase. UL Earth uses the dash to get away, and there's a big stun onto Netball in the back. Greymane is able to back out, but Liming destroyed there from the Jaina damage.
Yeah, and look at the Haka starting to make his way down here, and this Ultimate Evolution's almost dead too. They gotta find the kills now after UL, and here is the Haka. He's been able to lock in this clone at least, and look at Murda falling once again. The bunker not gonna be enough to save Blaze here either. That Water Elemental is down, being tossed around into a tower. Finding that kill, that's 4, a quad kill for TNC. 2 alters respond right now.
They almost get the 5-man kill with Abathur at top. The Hawk is chasing the slug, but he's not able to find it. Gets behind the wall. Harry Blob gets out in time. But man, if you're UL, you're thinking, what just happened? They thought they had themselves a really good engage there, but somehow Jaina, Netball, Netball and Metball, it's really confusing. Netball on that Jaina is able to find the immediate kill onto Li Ming, and it kind of stopped UL dead in their tracks. They didn't have the damage to continue the fight.
Yeah, it was great roots by Smitty, locking him on top of that Blizzard, got the full damage out of it. And then on the back end of the fight, the Water Elemental once again getting huge value and helping secure some kills on the back end of that fight. They finally get a structure this bottom lane. Oh, so important here. We see Valera starting to make her way around in the flank. Earth starting to get desperate. They know level 20s are close here for TNC. They got to find a pick. And I don't know what target they're looking for, but they're setting up here at mid, trying to see if they can find anything.
Yeah, TNC getting a lot smarter about their movement around the map. They're not leaving people too far out where they're able to be ganked by an invisible Valera with an Abathur hat. At the same time, UL getting a lot smarter, I think, about bunker usage. And that last team fight, I think bunker was not up until the very end and didn't get a whole lot of value. But you've seen the fights when UL's won. Everybody has been able to get in the bunker where they want to get in the bunker, and it's really paid off in the fights for them.
Power play here on the bottom side. Look at these sappers walking down the lane and so close to level 20. Earth has got to find a setup here with this Valera flank that he's trying to get here up by that sapper camp where it spawns. But the members of TNC just sitting in this lane trying to get these sappers across. And here comes a jet propulsion by Blaze and the follow-up by Valera. They're looking to burst down Jaina. She's low and stalled. Them Avenger can lock in, but a huge Twilight Dream connecting on 3. They get a counter kill on Liming and Murda, and that could be a huge event there, because if they survive, if Liming and Murda survive that, they're able to keep this game alive. But now Valera getting tongued and rooted and kabooted. See you later, Valera. Another capture going to be grabbed here by TNC. The boss is on the map. They can march up there, still have 30 plus seconds without Liming, without Murda. It's just a Blaze and an Abathur to try to defend against the Headless Horseman. What can they do here, Ghost?
They can type GG and hit enter in their keyboard. What it has decided to do in this situation. But the game going over to TNC, a very solid showing from them. Blaze is not going to let it go, but he's going to bunker, and that is going to be the TH as TNC takes this map. And that was an amazing fight coming out there from TNC. Like I said, UL got smart. They got a lot more aggressive, and you see it paid off, at least until the very end. That last team fight, I think, really what made it was sort of exemplary of how the fights were going. UL started that initiation. It was a great initiation. They found the Jaina. They found the blow up on the Jaina. Jaina died. They popped the clone. Then then Haka came in, and then the rest of the burst from Twilight Dream and the rest of the team, they came up and they killed 2 people. They burst down 2 people there to UL's 1, and that comp was just too strong. At the same time, I don't know if the Liming clone got as much value as they were hoping, and I got to give it up to TNC. They know how to play against that Valera.
Yeah, and you mentioned that last fight. Smitty would have been coming in huge with that Twilight Dream, really saving the day there in that fight. Netball picking up the lion's share of the kills in that game, 10 of them. Outstanding performance here in the opening round of this HGC Open Division Cup number 4. TNC really stepping up here against a squad with, like I said, a really great resume coming in. And unfortunate for them to be making an early exit here tonight, Ghost. Yeah,
it is. But it is their first week in the cup, and TNC, I think they're going to do well. They do face a dangerous opponent. Omae wa mo shinderu is their next opponent, but we are not going to be following them. We are going to be jumping to Necro Dancers versus QG is our next game. And until then, though, you should hop on over and check out our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/HeroesHype, and you'll be able to get all of our great rewards, be able to help out the amateur community here for Heroes of the Storm. Only $5 a month gets you exclusive access to Discord channel in the Discord server. And make sure to check out HeroesHype on social media. You can check out our Twitter, Discord, Facebook, and Snapchat, all below in the links here on the Twitch channel that you're watching right now. Until then, we're going to take a short break, and we will return with Necro Dancers versus QG. So I hope to see you guys. Make sure you guys come back and check out the rest of this Open Division here. So, Murda, anything else?
Solid round number one. Definitely high flying skills and thrills so far. Definitely excited for this next matchup. Necro Dancers picking up third place in Cup number 2. So definitely a team to look out for here in this Open Division.
All right, fantastic. And I do believe we're trying to get into the lobby here. And I believe I'm going to try and take a quick break here. Yeah, we're going to take a break right now, and we will be back with Necro Dancers versus QG. Stay tuned.